Hey, bear.
I heard something over there. Wait.
Shh. You don't want pictures of this stuff.
Whoa. Whoa. Shit.
The first video tonight comes from Sasquatch and Paranormal in Wineberry, Holler, an independent investigation channel documenting possible Sasquatch activity and unexplained events around Wineberry, Holler in the United States. It is February 15th, 2026, on a remote woodland property near an abandoned railway hotel in the United States.
Bringing things to everybody that needed stuff down here this way and all over. And one of the stops was a old hotel and bar. There have been confirmed deaths here. There was a man that caught his lady doing something she wasn't supposed to. Shot himself. And
The explorer walks along a quiet paved road near her former home while describing the surrounding landscape. From the road, she points toward nearby hills, where she previously reported seeing two dark figures moving along the mountainside. She then heads down toward a creek that runs through the valley, approaching an abandoned structure locally referred to as the Haunted Hotel. According to local history, the building once operated as a hotel and bar during the early railroad era, when trains passed through the area delivering supplies. Stories from locals claim several tragedies occurred there, including an incident where a man reportedly died at the property after discovering his partner's infidelity.
yeah, look here. Something's put that in the way of it where you don't go in here. They put stuff up against the door. That doesn't sound like bear activity right there. So I think that somebody's claimed this place. I seen her footprint right down here. And it wouldn't surprise me. Let me go on the other side of it. See, I seen that there, and then I've seen the signs where they usually like the trees in front of stuff that's pulled down, like that one there, the leaves that's put in front of it. So I think they don't. Like, see, this wasn't here.
Upon reaching the abandoned structure, she immediately notices something unusual about the entrance. Branches and debris appear to have been placed across the doorway, and an old mattress that was previously buried among nearby trash has somehow been moved directly in front of the entrance. The arrangement looks deliberate, rather than the result of animals disturbing the area.
Tree growing. That's how long it's been abandoned. But since I know, so look there's a Sasquatch track. See the hill? No toes. I might get cast that tomorrow. I'll step on see, they have, I suspected, because this lady, she lives right over there. They watched one step across the road. I tell the story a lot. It took one step in the middle and two steps on the side of it. So it took two. There's all kind of Sasquatch tracks right here. So they're here.
She recalls a witness account connected to the same location. A man who once lived nearby in a camper reportedly said his dogs began barking aggressively one night. When he went outside to investigate, he claimed to see a massive, shadow-like figure crossing the property before disappearing into the darkness.
Yeah, so I know now that they're hiding in there. You look for tracks in snow, because that track was fresh, and they'd be going across the creek and into there. We're off the top of the mountain. Look there. That could have been a small one. The snow melted it out big. back that way. We used to play back through there. It was just two big cliffs, and railroad track running.
Before ending the recording, she points back toward the abandoned hotel ruins. She explains that locals have also reported unexplained sightings near the structure, including shadow-like figures and misty shapes appearing around the building at night. After documenting the blocked entrance and the unusual tracks, the explorer decides not to disturb the area further. Instead, she plans to return during daylight to investigate the structure more closely and attempt to cast the footprint impressions. Looking out across the quiet valley of Wineberry Holler, she reflects on the strange mixture of stories tied to the area. From possible Sasquatch sightings to reports of paranormal activity near the abandoned hotel. The remote woods continue to produce unexplained signs, leaving open the question of what may actually be moving through the valley. Before we move on, if you're enjoying the video so far, leaving a like really helps. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a good time. We recently passed 50,000 subscribers, and that's entirely because of you. The next target is 100,000 before the end of the year. Ambitious, but worth aiming for. There's a hidden word somewhere in this video. See if you can spot it. Now, let's continue. The next unsettling video comes from Exploring the Unknown, a US-based paranormal investigation channel that documents real-time explorations of eerie outdoor locations, remote forests, and places rumored to have supernatural activity. It is March 17th, 2024, in a remote island woodland area in the United States.
This was just going nuts.
Was it? Was it a phone? Mine.
Wait,
No, it's not phones. You guys weren't there.
can you do that again?
Me? My phone's in
I
my
really
pocket.
hope my camera caught that. Because it was like...
The investigators enter the dark forest at night, already aware that earlier visits to the area revealed unusual discoveries scattered across the ground. As they move through the trees, one of them suddenly hears noises nearby. Their lights reveal several clusters of bones on the forest floor, along with patches of disturbed soil. The unexpected discovery immediately puts the group on edge. Moments later, one investigator's phone suddenly lights up and shuts down, despite previously having battery power, which they interpret as a strange malfunction.
What girl?
Brought my brother and his wife here. Moved it. Yeah, what?
I think it's a coyote. I don't know though.
We don't have coyotes on the island.
What?
We don't have coyotes on.
This is brand new. We didn't hear her in here. This happened this week.
Got another bone right here.
But this long pie.
Deeper into the woods, they come across areas where the ground appears uneven and disturbed. The terrain looks as though it has been dug into or altered at some point, and nearby trees appear partially cleared. The investigators speculate that the area may have been modified by someone in the past, which adds further tension to the exploration.
Yeah, these two are looking rough.
They've been eaten. Where's the far
But-
one?
It's right over there, but it's been moved. It's by Brian. But look at how they're laying. They're both laying the same way on a little leaf plate. And, like they've been there for a while now, so.
It was about right where my right foot is.
Nearby, they discover several small areas containing animal remains placed on what appear to be leaves or natural debris. Although the remains are heavily decomposed, the investigators note that the smell is surprisingly mild. The careful placement of the animals appears deliberate, which deepens their concern about what might have created the arrangement. One investigator activates a K2 meter while standing near the area. As they speak, the device suddenly spikes, indicating electromagnetic activity. The team reacts with surprise, interpreting the response as a possible reaction to something present in the area. Later, When one investigator speculates that the animal arrangements may represent some kind of burial attempt or ritualistic placement, the K2 meter reacts again. The timing of the spike makes the group feel as though something might be responding directly to their comments. Near the end of the investigation, a light suddenly turns on in a nearby house before switching off again. From their position in the woods, the investigators cannot determine whether someone inside the house noticed them or if the light turning on was simply coincidental. But the moment adds one final layer of tension before they decide to leave. The next chilling video comes from Bigfooter Gary, a US-based outdoors and wildlife channel focused on solo hikes, trail camera setups, and real-time wildlife encounters. The creator is known for straightforward documentation, with minimal exaggeration, often capturing tense moments while navigating remote environments and testing outdoor gear. It is October 15th, 2024, in a snow-covered swamp and woodland area near the creator's property in the United States. Carrying camera equipment and preparing for low-light conditions, he moves slowly through the swampy woodland. Frost, wind, and falling snow make the terrain difficult to navigate, while the quiet environment creates an uneasy atmosphere as he follows narrow woodland paths.
I just heard something behind me, guys. It sounded like a growl. I'll film with the camcorder. And as I turn around to go back and get the camera, something freaking growled right behind me, guys. I shit you not. It scared me and I freaking ran. I'm not gonna lie, I friggin' ran.
As he attempts to retrieve one of his trail cameras, the growl is heard again. Startled, Gary quickly backs away and begins moving faster through the woods, temporarily abandoning the camera as he tries to put distance between himself and whatever made the sound. After returning to continue filming, Gary finds himself struggling to relocate the correct trail through the dense woodland. The forest appears darker and more confusing in the snow, and additional growls echo through the trees, keeping him cautious as he moves forward.
It growled at me. It's still out here somewhere, and I can't see 30 yards in front of me, so there's an example of how dark it is out here, guys, when I turn off the headlamp. Don't tell me. We've got at least an hour before be able to see a little bit, so coffee time and warm up. There's something in the woods right there, guys, beside my house. I can see eye shine. And my gauge is not reacting. I could see it was shining right there. Can you hear that? Is it the bear? There, Gage suddenly realized there's something in.
Once the situation settles, Gary returns to inspect the trail camera and replace its batteries to restore operation. Although the immediate threat has passed, the earlier encounter leaves him noticeably cautious while continuing his work. What begins as a routine morning hike to service trail cameras quickly turns into a tense wildlife encounter. Snowfall, limited visibility, and thick woodland amplify the sense of vulnerability, while the repeated growls keep Gary on edge. The eventual discovery that a bear was responsible explains the earlier noises, but the experience highlights how quickly ordinary outdoor tasks can become stressful when encountering large wildlife in remote environments. The next shocking video of the night comes from Lakeshore Paranormal, a paranormal investigation channel run by Darren Dickhouse, focusing on haunted locations, cemeteries, abandoned sites, and areas tied to local ghost stories. It is March 10th, 2023, on a haunted trail in the United Kingdom. The investigator walks alone toward the wooded trail as storm clouds begin gathering overhead. With a full moon lighting parts of the forest and snow expected later in the night, the atmosphere already feels tense. As they move deeper into the trees, small sounds from branches and shifting shadows create an uneasy environment. The quiet woods and approaching storm add to the feeling of isolation as they reach the area where they plan to conduct a spirit box session.
How's this? Does this look better?
The investigator begins using an SD11 spirit box, asking if any spirits in the area are willing to communicate. Throughout the session, bursts of static, faint voices, and occasional sounds that resemble laughter appear through the device. The investigator asks several questions while listening carefully for responses, reacting with visible tension as some of the sounds seem to align with the questions being asked. Being alone in the woods while the weather worsens intensifies the atmosphere around the session.
Whoa, I just got the chills. What are you doing out here? Oh my gosh. We gotta find our way back now.
After finishing the spirit box session, the investigator attempts to make their way back along the trail. However, the darkness and the repetitive layout of the trees make navigation difficult. For a short time, they struggle to locate the correct path, expressing concern about becoming turned around in the forest. Eventually, they identify the proper direction and begin heading back toward the entrance of the trail.
And again, it's really dark back here.
Once safely out of the woods, the investigator reflects on the experience. The spirit box session, combined with the approaching storm and the temporary disorientation in the dark forest, makes the night feel particularly intense. Although nothing directly visible appears during the investigation, the eerie atmosphere of the trail and the unexplained sounds from the spirit box leave a lasting sense of unease as the exploration comes to an end. The next video comes from YKTD, a UK-based channel where the hosts explore reportedly haunted forests and eerie locations at night. It is April 10th, 2019, in Daring Woods, often referred to as the Screaming Woods, located near the village of Pluckley, United Kingdom, a place frequently associated with local ghost stories.
On a real, I'm not being sarcastic, I'm not doing this.
She keeps seeing stuff, you keep seeing stuff.
I keep seeing black, shady figures running across the road as I'm driving. Like, the first time I saw two small ones, and then the second time.
As they drive toward the forest at night, the atmosphere quickly becomes tense. While traveling along the road beside the woods, Aisha and Mary believe they see dark shapes briefly crossing the road ahead. The moment happens quickly, but the sight immediately unsettles them, prompting surprised and uneasy reactions as they try to make sense of what they saw.
I saw one big one, and they literally look like the ones that you see in those character books, you know, that you would like the, I best way I had to describe it, it literally looked like fucking... Man.
Okay guys, so we've run out of service now.
We don't have any service, neither of us has service.
I'm starting to shit myself.
So we're stuck in the middle of nowhere on the worst day possible. No day... Oh, it's cold. No service. Why are they going to the woods?
Who?
Probably a video. So we're now at Daring Woods. And there's actually so many other cars, look. There's so many other people parked here. Which actually...
You have to park your car and then
walk.
So that's a bit scary. Then why is their light on? No!
What?
Their light is on.
While setting up their camera equipment near the entrance, the pair begin hearing distant sounds coming from somewhere deeper in the woods. Although the noises are faint and difficult to identify, they contribute to the uneasy atmosphere surrounding the investigation.
I don't want to. Can we go back, please?
No.
What's that?
No.
No, seriously, I'm serious. Oh, that was so...
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry again. What the fuck was that? No! No! Oi, that was ghostly. No! Ah! No. I'm gonna cry. That, I've got tears. That was ghostly. Oh my god, Aisha. Go slow on turns. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh my god, no fucking... No way. No. No! That is actually so scary. Oh my god, I'm gonna start crying again. No. Okay, please get out of it. Oh my god. I really don't like this. What is going on?
I keep seeing these black things.
I'm
like
seeing them
these
as
black
well.
shadows. Do you see it now?
I'm seeing them!
Oh my god.
As they continue exploring the area near the road and forest edge, the pair believe they see additional shadow-like shapes moving near the tree line. Their reactions grow increasingly nervous as they try to determine whether the shapes are real figures or visual illusions caused by the fog and darkness. The investigation at Daring Woods becomes a tense experience, filled with uncertainty. Shadowy shapes, unexplained noises, dense fog, and the unusual presence of parked cars all contribute to the unsettling atmosphere. Although no clear paranormal evidence is confirmed, the environment and repeated unexplained moments leave Aisha and Mary feeling uneasy as they eventually decide to leave the area. The experience reinforces the forest's long-standing reputation as one of the most mysterious and unsettling locations linked to local folklore. Before we get into the next clip, around 70% of people watching aren't subscribed. We're working toward 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And if you're enjoying the video, hitting subscribe really does help. All right, let's get back to it. The last video of the night comes from Strayed Explorer, a solo exploration and paranormal channel focused on overnight trips into remote forests, abandoned locations, and isolated back roads. It is March 6th, 2026, in Wales, United Kingdom. Andy begins setting up his campsite on a relatively flat patch of ground deep within the forest. As darkness settles over the area, he prepares his tent and cooking equipment, while the surrounding woods become increasingly quiet. Not long after finishing the setup, he begins hearing movement somewhere outside the tent, creating an immediate sense of unease in the cold, wet woodland environment.
Spirit Talker just said there's a man watching. Why does the atmosphere feel like it's changed all of a sudden, and what the hell did I just hear outside this tent? Was it the man that screamed last week. Starting to feel cold.
Later in the night, loud screams echo through the forest. The sound resembles someone crying out in distress, but Andy cannot determine whether it is human or possibly an animal. The dense terrain and darkness make it difficult for him to investigate safely.
Respond when you call out to it. Now what makes me more concerned is if that was or is a person or people. A normal person would respond if someone shouted hello. So if it is a person and they don't respond, that to me is not normal at all, not even slightly normal. What is out here?
Andy calls out into the darkness, asking if anyone nearby needs help or if someone is present. No response follows, leaving the situation unresolved and adding to the tension of the night.
Steps. There. It's hard to hear with the sound of this water.
Not long afterward, he hears what sound like footsteps moving close to the tent. The noises alternate between short bursts of movement and long periods of silence. As Andy carefully moves around the campsite, the slippery moss and uneven forest floor make navigation difficult while he remains alert to the sounds around him. Throughout the night, Andy experiences multiple unsettling moments, including movement around the tent, strange responses from the spirit talker, distant screams, and unexplained footsteps in the darkness. The combination of isolation, harsh weather, and the dense Welsh forest creates both physical and psychological strain. By morning, he packs up camp feeling exhausted and still unsure what caused the sounds during the night. The experience leaves a lingering sense that something or someone may have been nearby during the investigation. We appreciate you for watching. If these creepy encounters gave you chills, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next drop. There's always another mystery waiting just around the corner.